Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages. My name, and it's on my birthday by the way, is Mr. Evil Dragon. Joining me, it was very late, I was getting concerned, but he's here. It's my good old commentator who's joining me this season, it's Brendan. Say hello.
Hello there. I am doing very well here tonight. And how are you?
I'm doing good on my belated birthday, I might say. It's been quite nice. We are here for pre-season, of course, here at San Marino, the Imola Grand Prix as well. First hosted a race way back, I think it was in the early 1980s, of course. Went off the calendar in 2006 and, of course, returned last season in 2020. That was actually, which is 2 seasons ago now. Feels a long time ago, of course. And it hosted some very nice races as well. It was here last season and it's here this season as well. And, of course, like I said, the pre-season race. So, all excitement as we're getting the last few drivers in, but with a long season ahead of us, who are you expecting to be your eyes on?
Well, I don't really know that many of the group, so I'm here having an open view, and I want to see what can they do to really put themselves out there, as I do know some of them, as Jess is one of the more of the people involved with one-off racing, and I will be looking to see how she can do, and just see, hopefully, main thing is that we're able to get some good racing in here.
Yeah, most certainly is indeed. I've seen a few people here who've got Indecisive, who's a good old buddy of mine. Used to commentate with him last season occasionally when I was around, of course. Like, we've got Jamet, we've got Jess, we've got Kingan, and we've got O'Sullivan here, we've got Infamous, Jason. We've also got Matthias as well, Rageman, TJ, and of course us two are still waiting for a few more people to join us as well. So, all excitement, all new season as well. And what is going to be the interesting fact to see is who is going to be doing what in this pre-season is, of course, is going to be the build-up for the start of the new season as well, which isn't just 7 days' time.
Yep, and well, this is obviously a chance for everyone to just get an idea of who they may be fighting against in this season. Obviously, you might not know, maybe some people, this track isn't quite their strong suit, or maybe it could be one of their better tracks. So it's a case of, well, you don't know. You could see little changes, but generally you should be able to see how the grid will look come the start of the season. Obviously it can change a little bit, depending on where you go.
Yeah, but it certainly will do as well. There's some little more facts about this circuit, by the way. The most recent change to the circuit came, of course, well, it was in before 2020, of course. That is with the where the pit lane is, of course. That used to be a chicane back in the olden days. Before that, of course, the change before that, that was in 1995, of course, after the tragic events of the 1994 San Marino Grand Prix, of course, May the 1st. And I think it was April the 31st, or whatever the last day of April is. I forgot how many days are in a month in April. But, of course, Roland Ratzenberger and Ayrton Senna both having horrific accidents, of course, both sadly succumbing to their injuries. Also that weekend, of course, we saw Rubens Barrichello having a big accident at the last chicane as well. So it was a very dark day. But this circuit, very, very famous, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is what... So it's been around for a lot of F1 history, from the 80s, 90s, all the way up to 2000s, and it's come back recently. It's always a good place to go, as you do. Well, you might say there isn't that much room to overtake, and so this you still have the long straight, which gives drivers opportunities to try and make a pass, and there's always room for maybe an opportune pass or two if you are that kind of driver who feels like they can break late and just, well, put down the incentive without any consequence for their car.
Most certainly indeed. And don't forget, we'll also get into all of the sponsors and that once we get into a lovely lobby as well for the beginning of qualifying. We're just waiting for the last few people to get in to the lobby, I believe. We are just waiting, I think, for 2 or 3 for pre-season. So don't forget, by the way, if you are new here to One Hub, to like and subscribe. And if you're on the Twitch, I think you can do follows. I'm not 100% sure on the Twits. I don't know how Twits works half the time, but we'll get there this season as well. I do want to say thank you to everyone who's joined us. This is the first race for a very long time as well, of course. It was almost last year, for the last, well, it was definitely last year when we had the last race of the season. But it's nice to be back here in One Hub, isn't it?
Yeah, it is honestly nice to get back on track, and hopefully tonight we should get back on in a good stead with some good racing. But obviously, firstly, we'll have a qualifying, and getting the right lap here. You have to watch yourself because it doesn't take all that much for you to get an invalidation, which can really cost you.
Yeah, most certainly can do. I mean, it's so easy to go off. This is an old school circuit, so if you go wide around it, there's a gravel trap just meeting you everywhere. And the one thing I learned around racing is gravel isn't normally that fun to go in. Who would have thought that question? But there you are. Gravel, not fun to go in as well. We'll be seeing, of course, 2 stops throughout this season as well. That is, I believe, mandatory from my information as well. So it's going to be fun to see of what's going on this season for that. Don't forget, by the way, if you are one that is new to it as well, we'll go through our sponsors whilst we are here right now. The sponsors of us beautiful league this season is Next Level Racing, sponsors of the league, providing beautiful prizes as well. Pure Sim Gloves also sponsor the league by providing a pair of their sim racing gloves to the driver of the most combined poles or fastest lap. And of course, to our partners as well, Vespertine, who of course support our championship prizes. The ERT award, which is the Go and Get Tough award as well. And of course, SimGrid, who run our season through their platforms as well with the community. So there we are for all of them. And I will say I've never been one to normally read from things. So I've got it nice up on my laptop, which is always good to see as well. It's good to have a laptop nowadays.
So not long now, hopefully. So obviously qualifying the only 13 drivers, but obviously gives everyone more opportunity. There's going to be a little more space on track. You'll have honestly get a bit of practice in, so you need to know where
certainly indeed. Whilst we're just getting ready to go in just a few minutes time, of course, before we head into qualifying. I think we should be starting to ready up pretty soon, actually. We are 5 minutes late, actually, if I'm not mistaken, from start time. So we are just waiting a few moments, I believe, for 1 or 2 to get in. Let's have a little look, see on the Discord to see if anything's going on. Don't forget, by the way, if you want to say hello, by the way, don't forget to hit a comment down in the chat. Hello to Gaz, who has just joined, as well as everyone who is currently joining us here for the first race, well, the pre-season race, might we say, for here as well. Don't forget, there will be a race just after this one as well. So, and that will be on the YouTube indeed. So don't forget to watch that one after this one ends, as we are getting told we are readying up, and you can see they're all readied up. So let's get ready to go then, and there we are, ready and waiting here for pre-season. And it's been a long while, and I am most certainly going to enjoy being back in this box.
Yep, so now this guy's first opportunity to lay down a marker. See, you're not going to get points for qualifying, as you won't get in any new race, and you won't really get points for the race either, but it's a chance for you to put yourself there and just say, I'll be a contender this season.
Yeah, it certainly is. I mean, you got to get off for a good foot around here, of course. I mean, it might be only pre-season racing, but if you could win it, put it on pole and show your pace, that is going to show everyone that you are going to be a person to be feared this season, of course. Don't forget, it's a long season, of course. But the crucial thing is, even in pre-season, to get it off the marks for this one. And who would you say, as we get into it, put a raw prediction, who do you think is going to get pole?
Well, let's say I'll just have guess that maybe the Alfa Romeo might end up getting on pole, or who knows? It could be anyone here, as it's depending on how you feel on the track. You could be the faster driver, but if you're just not confident enough, that could play against you and someone else who mightn't be that quick, but they do have the practice under their belt in order to get the confidence. They may be able to push themselves up and maybe get themselves a good starting point and maybe a confidence boost for the season.
Indeed, we've got our first cars coming out on circuit. I believe that is the McLaren then, the first car this season. And this is the first man of the entire Tier 1 hub to get onto the racing track, and that is Rageman. So there we are then. We are officially going for qualifying for 1 hub then this season. Well, for most of the pre-season, but it's the first car we've seen racing this season as well. So Rageman leads them away, of course. We've got Jamet coming out on the circuit, followed by a whole flurry of cars, and this is like what we wanted to see, isn't it?
Yep, getting out early. Some people taking the medium tyre here, namely the Ferrari of Jamie. See, I would say that is not the worst call to make, because it does mean you save a set of soft tyres in case of a late safety car, which could really benefit you. And obviously getting a lap in the mediums means you're not wasting a set of the soft tyre. So see, then you have to start the tyre you qualify on. So that means then if you can start on mediums, it's not bad. You can push towards the end, and it gives you a bit of freedom in terms of your strategy calls.
Yeah, it most certainly will be, of course. Now, remember, 2-stop strategy around here. Normally, of course, you have to do a 2-stop mandatory anyway. So let's go then. The first lap here in qualifying. The first lap, and let's run on board then with Rageman as he comes into the kink of turn number 1, then into turn 2, technically, then down towards the first wheel braking zone. That is the Tamburello chicane, of course. Chuck it in, down into 4th gear. Build over the curbs, nice smooth for that on the exit Tamburello. Build the speed up to almost 170 miles an hour, 180 as you come down into the Villeneuve then. And then I believe it's coming into Tosa, the left hand of the hairpin. Very easy to lock a brake up here, uphill braking. Looks all nice and fine through there then as you head now up towards, I believe it's Acquamirali then, the next corner. As you ride over the top, little grind as you come in. Chuck it down into 5th gear, a little bit wide. He might get it a little bit too stopped. He does get it nice and stopped then. As you now come into the double right-hander at the bottom of the hill, the lowest point of the circuit. And now the ride all the way back up again. It's like a roller coaster. Up you come, down towards the chicane. Right and then left as he gets it nice and stopped there for the McLaren. Yes, he does. Nice on the exit. And now all the way then back down the hill. Tricky braking zone into the last 2 corners. And this is one of the moments where if you snag a brakes, your lap's ruined. Nice through here. 5th, 4th, 3rd. Nice smooth, gets it nice on the exit as well then from the McLaren through the last corner, and he goes wide right as he didn't need to, and into the pit lane.
Yep, so see, my first lap, it didn't really work, but honestly, you have time. You don't, it isn't perfect on the first try most of the time, so you can see as we have the first lap time of the season, 117.7 on the medium tyre, and so not too bad.
Yeah, next cross the line, that's Stormy's just crossed the line right there. We're waiting on a few others to cross the line as well, I believe, is it? Not Jess, it's a Red Bull of Indecisive crossing the line right there. We've got a Mercedes of O'Sullivan who crosses the line right now, and that is to start his lap time. So, a few people's getting ready to go. We've got Mantis who's invalidated. We've got Kingan who's coming through the last couple of corners right now in the Williams. Let's see what they can do then. A little bit squiggly on the rear end, but gets it nice caught up through there. Yellow flag out the pit lane.
That's the Red Bull who has spun. I believe they probably went for a second go on the medium tyre and probably just took a bit too much speed into 1 and 2. So that is the consequences. If you just don't get your braking right, it'll end up being a little too out of control for you to actually keep it and gain the time.
Meanwhile, Jason right up behind Storm right there. That's not going to do your lap time any good right now. You got to kind of improvise and try and get past him side by side down into the braking zone. And this is like racing here. And oh, they've hit each other. I think. Did they touch it? Looked like it does. It certainly looked like a bit of front wing coming off there. So I think they might have touched just there. In comes the pits, comes the Aston Martin. Jason, who set a purple sector 2, still goes purple then. That's a 1:16.6. So the first quick lap so far, because he's actually gone quickest. So I suppose everyone who goes quickest is doing a quick lap. Here comes Mantis then through the last corner. Is he going to finish his lap time off? Yes, he is. And then through the last corner, here comes the Haas. Goes P1 then, 1:16.5. So going even quicker then. What's the next car to cross the line will be? I think everyone's coming into the pit lane. King Jun comes into the pit lane. I believe Jess also will be coming in to the pits.
See, first round of laps are generally done at this point, apart from Aiden West and Rageman, who are about to start laps here. Just a couple of seconds from each other, so interesting to see where they are able to place themselves.
Yeah, it certainly is. Nice and smooth up against the wall underneath the Maiden Italy side with the Pirelli on the back of it as well. And this is such an awesome track, by the way. I don't say it, I'll probably say it a lot during this trip. This track is absolutely awesome. It's not like we got these modern circuits that are all very bland and not a lot going on. This one, a proper old school classic where you come into the corners and you're worrying if you're going to make it out the corners in one piece because, like I said, and like I've said, one small mistake around it, big consequence. Rageman, purple in sector 1 right now as he comes up the hill towards Akmirali. And let's see, nice move through here, down into 5th, 4th gear. Look at it, throwing it down the gears, 150 miles an hour through here as you come into this corner. Flat out, now down to the brakes, into 3rd gear. This looks like a beautiful lap time so far.
Looking well. See, into sector 2, not showing purple, but that doesn't mean all that much. Really keeping to the right there. It's surprising enough that it wasn't invalidation, as you usually want to just keep at least 2 wheels on track. Now you just have to hope you don't get held up here. Shouldn't do, and you'll probably get a little bit of slipstream. Across the line, and it's P1 by a distance.
Yeah, 1.1 seconds quicker. I thought that was a good lap. I really did. It most certainly was. Next across the line will be TJ to start his lap time. I think we've got the Ferrari on an out lap. We've got a Mercedes of Sully who's currently on an in lap. So next to start a lap time from my knowledge, that will be the Aston Martin then of TJW, who's currently coming towards sector 1. He's got Indecisive just ahead of him there. He's going to almost get right in the way, and that's not an invalid lap. Well, that was awfully close to getting a valid there, but Indecisive having to chuck himself right out the way, and just at the right time. He'll get past Aiden on the left, and let's see, it might not be the most greatest lap, it might be a little bit compromised, but let's see what he can do. TJ then, who's currently coming through the back end of the circuit down the hill. Wasn't a sector 2, it was a green sector low, so and it can only be better than the lap time he's got so far because he hasn't set a lap time. So through the last 2 corners he comes, 9 minutes to go here in qualifying, and nice and smooth to the line. Takes a very an interesting line. There goes P4 low for the Aston Martin driver. Next to cross the line would be, I think that was Infamous who's crossed the line. That would be T. Jason, I think, who's crossed the line right now to begin his out lap. And so you'll start to set lap times right now. We've got Jess on an out lap as well. We've got Jamet, who's currently crossing the line right now. He goes P2 then in the Scuderia Ferrari. And that's a very good lap time on home soil there for the Ferrari. Of course, this circuit named, of course, the Autodromo Dino Ferrari. Of course, that is after Enzo Ferrari's late son, of course, who we lost in the 1950s, I believe it was. A very young age to lose him. I think it was actually 1950. It might have been a little bit earlier than that, actually. But, of course, Enzo Ferrari, of course, died in 1989, I believe it was, actually. Of course, his last car, the Ferrari F40. What a beautiful car that was. As re-ride on board now with Jess. The yellow flags in the background as he comes down into the braking zone of this tricky uphill braking. And it's so easy to do that and go wide, isn't it?
Yeah, very easy to make mistakes here. You don't have a lot of room for error. The curbs here, you need to know how to approach them, because if you go on the wrong part, it's very easy to spin, as the Avatari has went P2. So, start getting some people starting to get a bit closer, but still, Richmond looks like he is very much the class of field, although Jason, the other Avatari, is now P2 and the second man to 115, so that would be decent enough for him. I'd be happy to maybe try and get another lap in and see where he can get.
Yeah, Manta's next car to cross the lap time, that's on his lap time. Then as he comes down the hill so far, then chucks it into this double right-hander, almost flat on the entrance, which absolutely terrifies me through there, because you can lose the rear through there if you're not careful. You get the wrong line, have the wrong setup, and it's a big accident. Purple sector 2 then for the Haas driver, and he looks very good so far. It's only 20,000s, but this could be a good lap time then. Comes down the hill, and then see what we've got. Then over the crest, bit of a camera shot, I must say, around here. Down there comes the number 72 into the double left, into the last corner, and then it is the run to the line. Then take it nice and smooth all the way, use all the green as you dare, and he'll go P3 then there with a 1:16.008. And that is still some 6/10 of a second, well, nearly 5/10 actually, more to be accurate, off of pole position. And can anyone displace Rageman so far at the top of the timings?
Doesn't look like it'll happen, although people have been getting closer. I would assume that Rageman, you can go out for another lap and potentially improve, so that will make it a little more difficult, although you can never really discount anyone from being able to do it. So we just probably have to wait and see. Some people will probably be starting their last runs nearly the next minute or two, although some people might want to leave it later.
Indeed, the other Haas, meanwhile, goes P4 then, so it's a Haas 3-4 so far then for the American outfit, as I say, one goes immediately off the road nearly right there. Next to cross the line, we've got Kingan through the last corner, and that's 2/10 up on his lap time, so looking for at least a 5th, 6th position. Indeed, does go 6th position right now. We've got O'Sullivan, who is on a lap time, we believe, right now as well.
I'll see improvement. Looks like Mercedes is improving by a little bit. Whether it probably looks like you need a little more just to get a position, although any improvement is always good to have. Just a little bit caught on the curb there with Mercedes. And well, there's more improvement, so even with catching that curb, still a sizable improvement, and there should be more coming to the last sector if the improvement from the first two is anything to go by.
Let's see, through the last corner, and let's see what he can do then. Can he get himself up the front? He was purple in sector 2. Could this be the one to defeat? No is the answer to that. 5/10 back. It said it was purple, but alas, it was not fully purple. Like I say all the time, though, it might say it purple on my game. It probably isn't. That's something I've noticed a lot through my time here. We've got Aiden. He's up 4/10 then as he comes through the uphill towards the start of the third set. Let's see what he can do right now. 1.2 seconds up on his lap time so far. Nice and smooth through the exit of the very tricky chicane. Those curves, by the way, very easy just to lose the rear if you clout them too much. But here we are then, down into this tricky downhill braking zone. Goes a little bit deep, and that's what I said could easily be done. But he carries the speed through there nice and smoothly. As he now comes up to the line, takes the smooth line there, takes a little bit of the inside, goes up to P10, displaces Jess, Indecisive, and Storm down to 11th, 12th, and 13th respectively. Sullivan on a in-lap. So your top order so far are Drageman, Jason, Mantis, Matthias, who I say, from Sullivan. Then we've got Proverb in 3rd, Infamous in 4th, Kingan ahead of Jamet. We've got TJ ahead of Aiden, Jess ahead of Indecisive, and Storm right down the back so far.
Oh, see, good chance here for Storm now to maybe just try and prove he has. His lap time doesn't seem representative, so we'll have to see now where he can put the Aston Martin. This looks like it'll be his last chance pretty much, unless he's fueled for maybe 2 runs.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting thing to see who's going to be doing what on their last lap. They're 2 minute 43, so we are very much at the end of qualifying right now as everyone starts to come out on their outlaps right now. So, who is going to be the one to get it on pole position? Who is going to be the one to displace, if anyone can displace the man who starts so far on that P1 pedestal? That is Rageman. First up, it's going to be Jason then, in the AlphaTauri left, former the Toro Rosso, of course, used to be Minardi back in the 1980s, all the way up to 2005. Before it did become Toro Rosso, it's of course, in 2020, it became AlphaTauri. As through into Tamburello corner, we come 5th gear up through there. It takes a gear higher than the other drivers I've seen so far, into 6th, up to 7th. Look up to 8th gear, we've got one car up the road there, looks like that is a Williams there, nice and smooth through there, gets it all hooked up. And that looked very smooth indeed. First sector, and it is purple by some 2 attempts of a second. Nice through the exit of Tosa corner then. And now the run all the way up the hill towards Akmirali then. Shuck it into the left, and does it stick? Does he run too wide? That looked pretty good through there. And he might just get a slight toe from the Williams of Kingham there, who's just in front of him, who will be hopefully pulling out of the way pretty quickly. You're going to small bit of toe, and now then 2 attempts up, not purple in sector 2 though, through the chicane, left, right, and then of course on the exit now into the left, and then it's 2 more left towards the last 2 corners, and let's see, could he defeat, can he put it on that pole position which he so hopes to do then. Through he comes into the last corner. Has he got enough in the car? Let's see, in around about 3, 2, 1. Can he get it on pole position? No, he cannot by a 10th of a second. Close. Mantis is on an outlap. Who's next across the line? I believe it might be Kingham, who's also on his lap right now. Through the last couple of corners, does he come then? Can the other AlphaTauri get it on pole?
Well, you have to see that. No, there's improvement, but it doesn't look like it'll be improvement to reach on for what position. Still P3. That's a lot of improvement there in the last sector.
Yeah, Kingham across the line. Let's see what he can do. Doesn't look like he's improving on his lap time then. So, sorry, Rageman not improving on his lap time. Next across the line is there. I can see Infamous going off the road as he's getting all caught up right there. Let's see who is on the next to come across the line. We've got Jess followed by Proverb right now. So we're right on board
Someone jumped up there. That was TJW managing to jump up to 4th there, so not bad.
Yep, Jess and Proverb crossing the line. It was a purple sector 2 then. It goes up to 5th position for Proverb. Jess across the line in 11th position. Next across the line will be O'Sullivan. We've got coming on to a lap time right now. We've got, I believe that might be Kingham coming across the line right now in front. So let's see Kingham. What he can do, goes 7th position for the Williams driver. Next across the line, we believe on their lap, it might be, it's not Matthias, he's coming into the pit lane. It will be O'Sullivan then in the Mercedes. Let's see where he can do. His teammate Jacko is not here today, we believe. So he, of course, been called into work. Through into the last 2 corners comes O'Sullivan, and let's see there where he can go. Does he go and put it with the aces in the hole? Let's see then. Company up 2 tenths of a second. Can he get himself up into 4th? The answer to that is yes, it's Rageman. Well, he's gone even quicker. Another half a second quicker than anyone else. And the only other drivers across the line will be Jamie then. Let's see what he could do. He comes to the line and let's see, can he do anything? He crosses the line in 9th position. TJ is in towards the pits. And we've also got, well, Infamous coming in. So Rageman on pole by nearly 4 tenths of a second.
Well, Rageman, he put on 2 laps in the session, and both of them were being good enough for pole position, so you'd have to say he has most certainly laid down a marker.
Yeah, that is one big marker indeed as well. You want to have to hope that is going to be something for everyone to beat later on. Now, of course, with the race just coming up in just a few moments' time as well, we'll go through your order as well. Don't forget, we'll also go back through the sponsors as well whilst we are here. But let's see then, 50 seconds to go till the end of qualifying. We're just waiting for, well, there we are. Actually, is the end of qualifying. So your official rundown then of this wonderful order for today's race for pre-season, of course. That is going to be Rageman and Paul, Jason in second, so the two Germans. First and second position ahead of Infamous in third position, O'Sullivan in fourth, TJ in fifth, ahead of Whopping Proverb in sixth, Matthias in second, ahead of Kingdon in eighth, Jamie in ninth, ahead of Aiden in 10th, Jess lines up alongside them in 11th, ahead of Indecisive and the Storm down the back, 4 seconds off the pace. But don't forget pre-season racing as well, so it doesn't really matter about your pace too much. It's all about, of course, just getting a feel for the conditions.
Yep, so now it's off to the race. So the key now is Rageman's quality pace. Can he translate that over to the race? Because you can often see some people, they're extremely quick, but then in the race where they need a consistency, it just doesn't seem really to come naturally.
Yeah, some people are a lot better in racing than, of course, in their quali pace, vice versa, quali to the race. So it'll be interesting to see who is good, but we'll go through our sponsors again whilst we are here, of course, as we have a few moments of the sponsors of this league. Next Level Racing, sponsored the league by providing prizes, and of course, we have Pure Sim Gear, who sponsored the league by providing a pair of the sim racing gloves. The driver for the most combined poles and fast lap, of course, to our partners, Vespertine, who of course support the championship prizes, and of course the ERT, the partners of the ERT Go and Get Tough award, and they of course give trophies as well. SimGrid, also we are powered by, who run our community and the platform as well, and they are lovely, all bunch of our favourite friends, by the way. And don't forget to give them all love and support. And don't forget as well, if you are new here, to follow us. And don't forget to head over to our YouTube in a little bit, as well, as we are getting ready for the next race, which I believe is in around, I believe it's not too far away. I'm sure someone in the chat can confirm when the next one is on for us, but not too long until that, of course. With 8 seconds to go here until the race begins. Qualifying was good, but what do you think we're going to see in store for the race?
Well, the start will be important, but I'd say it'll settle into one of them races where people are close, but and maybe a strategy call might make the difference, or the timing of a safety car or some other thing could be it.
Yeah, most certainly as well. Rageman leads the field away then from Jason in second. Infamous, both the AlphaTauris there. They've got a good chance of trying to do some strategy, of course, to try and potentially distract Rageman, of course. The only McLaren here, Sullivan behind in the only Mercedes, TJ as well in the one of two Aston Martins. The weather, of course, above us. Nice cloudy conditions so far. No idea, of course, if we are going to be seeing some rain later on. And then both of the Haas's there in their American livery, might I say, in 6th and 7th position. Keegan in 8th, Jamie in 9th, ahead of Aiden in 10th, Jess Indecisive and Storm round at the back. And of course, 7 p.m. the next tier starts. Thank you to our good old friend Dexter for letting us know, by the way. So don't forget to head over to there if you do wish, or you could say him what ask for this great accent here as we're getting ready to go for the start of this race. And I hope you stay here, because this is going to be a crack of race. Or you could watch both at the same time. I mean, if you can do that, that'll be awesome.
Well, won't be long until the start. They're just in sector 3 now. Let's see, make sure to warm these tyres will be important. Just want to get the launch off the line, don't get any wheel spin, and have a chance to either protect position or to maybe even gain some into turn 1.
Yeah, it's all going to be crucial this start. Who's going to get the launch, who's going to be good, who's using their ERS and who's doing what, as we go through everyone. In terms of tyres, by the way, as I get them up, all on the soft apart from Jess and Storm, and they are both on the mediums. The sun comes out above us just as we start to get ready to go as well. So As someone just says, can we show the tyres? So I show the tyres right on cue. So there you go, Dexter. Directly on your time for you there. There we go then. 32 laps. The first race then of pre-season. The first race, of course, for a long time here in One Hub. And it's going to be a pleasure to bring you along, of course, for the next couple of weeks. Well, the next, I think, 11 weeks, of course, coming up, not counting this one. But for the first time, 1 light, 2 light, 3, 4, 5. And it is go! And it looks like a good start from the McLaren. He gets a bit of a bog low. It's a better start from Jason. It's a very good start from the AlphaTauri there. He leads into turn number 1. Are we going to see everyone clean through, though? That's the crucial thing. The McLaren has a look. There's 3 wide in the background there. Is one of the Hasses. Oh, there is contact. There is contact. That was the Haas going round there at the back. I think, though, everyone apart from that's got through correctly. I think Storm might be involved as we've got a few cars squirming away. But it's Jason leads from Raidman in 2nd, Sully in 3rd, King in 4th, TJ in 5th. And a Jamat in Infamous in 6th and 7th. The other Haas dropping down in 8th. Aiden ahead of Indecisive. Jess ahead of Storm. And Proverb, I'm not sure what happened there. Looked like we're just 3 wide and you kind of got the meat in the middle of a sandwich there.
I think he just got caught on the wrong side and, well, just got spun out with it. Let's see, some people had some brilliant starters. See, AlphaTauri famous was a slow starter, but you had the Williams who was very fast starting, and obviously the Haas in the middle. In this case of between the two didn't really go.
Yeah, indeed. Up 4 position for King and down 4 for Infamous. Up down 7 as well. We've got a yellow flag, and that is Matthias, who's dropped it then on the exit of the second last corner. And that will be the virtual safety car. Now, I imagine we're going to see maybe a few come into the pit lane that were on low soft tyres. In comes Indecisive. In comes Aiden. Also in comes Proverb. We've also got Infamous in the pit lane as well. So a few people starting to come in. Of course, they'll be chucking on a set of medium tyres then. But alrighty, Matthias having rather a shocking one for the Haas team so far, isn't it? Both with damage.
Yeah. Not great for them, but there is always a chance that they can bring it back a little.
Yeah, most certainly is. Of course, don't forget the drivers have all got to keep to a delta. It's so easy, by the way, to go over it when you're driving around here. So let's hope no one gets caught out with this one as we come up there. VSC should be in, I think, about 3, 2, 1 seconds. No, never mind. I was going to try and guess it. Should be in the next few seconds, I believe. It's staying up for a long, long time. Like I say, nearly a lap right now as the leaders come through. So hopefully it'll come in soon. There it is. And we are back racing then, just through the last corner. Pretty much a lap then under the virtual safety car. Can see they've got the stricken Haas out of the way. But now we are racing. Jason leads Raidman yet again. And I'm wondering to see who's going to be doing the undercut strategy and when, of course. Around about lap 7, I imagine you'll start seeing potentially some of the drivers to dive into the pit laners up front. Like I said, it is Raidman. He's probably, of course, got that really terrible start. Just looked like he got a bit of bog and then got a whole lot of wheel spin, wasn't it? Oh, we got the other Haas who's gone off. Sorry, can't over you there. But, thought we almost lost 2 there. But back to what I was saying, just looked like he bogged down, didn't he, the McLaren?
Yeah, just not the start you want. And it looks like Jason, it seems like he got this race under control for now. Although he's went a little bit wide there, that won't help.
It most certainly was. This is when you say is it under control. Goes wide off the circuit. Welcome to the curse of being with me. You curse people a lot. You'll find that this season now. Nonetheless, though, he is still leading this race. He clobbers the curb a little bit more, though, but 7/10 of a gap, of course. You want to be within about half a second, ideally, with the DRS. It is quite a long straight, remember, but of course, the DRS, although powerful, it's not as powerful as you can think sometimes, because you've got to be within about 6-7 temps to really get close. And of course, you ideally want to be within 5 temps if you're trying to get past. Let's see, he's around about 8 temps. Let's see, ideally, it should be around about 2 temps crossing the line. Or at least coming down towards turn number 1. Actually, I say that he's really closing, but I think it will be a little bit of a day there in a dollar short from here. Yeah, about 2 temps there. So he wants to be within, like I said, around about 5 temps, ideally, to get the benefit of the DRS fully. But First and second run. First and second. Sullivan in third. Kingen in fourth. Gap opening up to TJ and Jamet in fifth and sixth. Jess in seventh. Ahead of Storm, Infamous, Indecisive, Aiden, and Proverb down the back after that small mistake. And, of course, his teammate out already after. We believe he definitely made a mistake. I'm not sure if he was helped or just dropped it. But if he did drop at the last corner, very easy to do, I might say.
Yeah, because you're having to just really get the power down. Raid's
man's off! Raid's man's off! And that's not what he want to do! Here in lap number 4, he went wide. I thought he might have just carried on and got it back, but he's gone off the road. And the man in second, all of a sudden, plummeting down. Fourth, and now he'll drop into fifth. We got the Aston Martin and the Ferrari coming past. But Raid's man on those curbs, he just dropped it over the bump. And that is the last thing he wanted to do. And want to be lucky he came to the pits.
Badly damaged anyway.
Yeah.
No wing. A trip to the pits would be an immediate requirement, and he's in. So, yeah, see how he can salvage the race from here. He might have some clean air though, so that will be a little bit of a comfort.
Well, I'll tell you what, this gives Jason a huge little bit of buffer. He's probably breathing a bit better now then. He's got him now at 2.2 second advantage on the cars behind, but he wants to be careful he doesn't get a little bit too conscious of his gap and doesn't want to try and rest on his laurels right now. He's still got a long way to go, and anything can happen in Formula 1. As O'Sullivan struggling a little bit in Acromona. We've seen a few people running wide through there, and it was right here on the left. He went too wide, did Rageman, got on the power, got on the curbs, just dropped it straight around. It's a rotten bit of luck. Sullivan pushing on a little bit there. He's got, of course, Kingham to deal with company. We've got Jamet, followed by TJ, who almost run into the back. Actually, Jamet's got, Jamie, should I say, he's got ahead of TJ right there for 4th and 5th position. So those two have switched around.
Yeah, so, yeah, it's been a lot different now. Some people who didn't qualify as high, they've now put themselves up and to be happy enough with themselves here.
Yeah, you definitely look like it.
You're showing that they got a bit of space.
Yeah, Aiden and Indecisive getting a little bit close. Want to be careful, by the way, around this circuit, because, of course, floor damage is very easy to do, especially if you run over those sausage curbs, which Aiden very much did. He wants to be careful to do that too many times, because the floor might fall off if you do it too much, and we don't like seeing the floor fall away. That is not ideal, but those two getting a little bit closer right now, as we've got Infamous getting overtaken by a Rageman, who is a man on a mission right now then, I imagine. Can he try and salvage anything from this race? He's, of course, got to stop once more later on, but he's going to be hoping we see some drama later, as here comes Indecisive around the outside there, late braking from the Red Bull driver, gets it stopped. Beautiful little move there, but let's see, can the Alfa Romeo come through? No, here comes the Haas then round the outside, and it's 2 for 2 then for both of those two there, as Proverb and Indecisive swoop both around the outside. It looks like I think Aiden might have something wrong with that car. Bit of a squiggle there from Proverb on the exit, as these drivers all struggling to get up to temperature with their tyres.
Yep, so now, see, I believe we got the first penalty of the race, so...
Second now.
Well, yeah, second. Well, King and Aiden West having penalties won't really help them here.
Meanwhile, Proverb as Indecisive. Indecisive's going to cover the inside line, but Proverb, he's just going to stick back for a second here. I don't think he needs to make a move straight away, because of course there's the DRS zone. You don't want to make a move too early, because you'll just get straight past. Now he'll get past him down the straight. He gets a nice, good exit. He's in that 3/10 gap, of course, to the car ahead. The interval, of course, 0.2 of a second. So, which way is he going to go, left or right? He's going to go the long way around and should easily be seeing. And there he goes then, up into 10th position for the Haas driver. And that is nicely done for him. Further up the road, by the way, we've got a potential battle starting to brew still between Sullivan and Kingdom there. Between 2nd and 3rd. And it's so lovely to see, isn't it, drivers battling here.
It's good to see some battling here early on. Now see, now we have actually got pit stop here. Oh, and a 5-second penalty. That won't help the race here today.
Yeah, and as you say, a 5-second penalty, yeah, now he decides to get a 3-second time penalty just to, just one gets a penalty, another driver just wants a penalty immediately. It's like they know, in comes, like I said, TJ coming out of the pit lane. You'll get that's his teammate going through right now. Of course, he is leader in terms of the drivers that have on their one-stop strategy so far. As Infamous gets himself also a time penalty as well. So they're all picking up penalties. Now, Infamous, he would have got a penalty there for going too far on the inside of the green. Which can be done pretty easily. It's so, what's the word? Enticing to go on the inside of that, and then you just pick up a penalty so quickly, doesn't it?
Yeah, the penalty's really ramping up here. As it's probably Imola, well, it is a place where you can easily pick up penalties if you don't watch the track limits.
In comes Kingan and Sully, as they get it nice and stopped as well. Around by lap 7 onto lap number 8. Jason still leads the way in the AlphaTauri lane so far. The Williams, the Mercedes, also the Ferrari in the pit lane as well. So a cloud of smoke coming out of the rear tyres there on the Mercedes, but gets it nice and smooth. Now let's see, he'll come out behind Sullivan still, so slightly slower stop, 2.3 seconds, 1.9 seconds. That gap will open up ever so slightly.
Oh, we got a spin for Aiden West.
Along the curb, potentially, you reckon?
Yep, just caught a little bit. Maybe went a little too quick and just couldn't get the car slowed down enough.
And now the thing is, of course, when now you're on these probably very heated tyres, you don't want to put too much pressure into it, because it's so easy to just drop it quickly, isn't it? After you overheat the tyres, next corner, very tricky to suddenly do.
You just don't want to push too much down, because one spin can lead to another, and it just gets harder and harder to stop the cycle.
I tell you what, meanwhile, we've got Williams second and third. Jessica still yet to stop. Currently P2 in this race. That's a good going so far there for the Williams driver. We've got Kingan following suit very quickly as well, who I imagine probably will, maybe we're going to see Jess open the door potentially to allow the fellow friend through. Then let's see. It's going to be the outside line for the Williams pair, and let's see then. And I think Jess slightly bleeding off there. Yes, she does indeed, helping her teammate out ever so slightly. And next, of course, Storm will be trying to come at very quickly as well.
Yeah, so Jason, or is someone in the... Looked like someone was in the pits in my graphic. Could have been just something wrong.
I think you're right, Jason. I think, yeah, Jason has stopped. You are right there. Jason stopped from the lead of this race. He's come out 4 seconds now up the road as Kingan going grass cutting there through Tamburello in the Williams, which is, we don't like to see Williams going off the Tamburello corner, thank you very much. But Jess in third position, Sully in fourth, closing right up to the back of Jess as well as you come up towards the tricky Atma Generale. And this is one of those corners where it is not very easy to overtake, is it?
Yeah, you don't have much space to overtake. In terms of DRS zones as well, you don't have that many of them either. Just the one. So it is difficult for me to find a place and also to follow, as I believe Sully has actually got past Just Gamers just before the chicane at the end of Sector 2.
Yeah, just looked like she ever so slightly bled off the throttle potentially there, so just not trying to get in too many people's ways, of course. Just concentrate on your own race, of course, as you still have to stop in not too long time as well. So just taking your own race, taking it as well. And next, of course, will be Storm with the DRS as well, about 5 tenths the gap. So let's put my theory to get to the test. Should they be close enough to get the pass down in towards turn number 1? The answer is no, mainly because Jess has also got the DRS. So never mind, there goes my theory on that one. Meanwhile, behind, Rageman really on the move right now, up to 6th position. Indecisive has picked himself a penalty. TJ, of course, following now. We got Jamie behind as well. So a few people starting to close up a bit more right now. Battle for 5th well, battle for 6th, 7th and 8th. We've got the battle for 4th and 5th as well. And so far here in pre-season, some great racing, isn't it?
Yep, obviously getting a little closer now. Yargons, some nice little battles form. Although it looks like Raytran will be trying to close up to the 2 ahead for a three-way battle for 4th as opposed to defending in a 3-way battle for 6th. So, as it believes Storm always made a mistake, Rageman will be true.
Almost got right into the side of Rageman as well as he tried. He got, see, that's what I said about those curbs earlier, wasn't it? Get on those curbs, lose the rear, and then just couldn't get the traction back down on the exit. And now Rageman, who was leading, well, who was in 2nd, all the way now, going to be challenging for 4th position. I believe he's in a net 4th because Jess still yet to stop. So let's see, DRS left or right, you're going to go to the left then. Is Rageman, and now up into 4th position and taking that 3rd from Jess. So far, and it's a strong comeback so far from the man who dropped it earlier on, right on cue, and it is a recovery, isn't it, right now?
Yeah, good recovery here. Obviously, probably not going to get the win today, but even still, you can show you can recover from an incident early in the race or a mistake, then it really shows that you are able to bounce back and you can salvage good results from even the worst of races.
Yeah, I thought for a second Jamie was going to have a look up the inside and back when we were in a rally leg. Didn't quite. Oh, big tank slapper there from Storm, who's getting it all out of shape right now. As it's a beautiful camera shot, the outside line from the Ferrari. That'll be brave around the outside. Can't quite do it. Might get a good exit low, and now you can try and get the move done. But you want to hope you got the DRS potentially for the car ahead. Though Storm, I believe, going to be coming in the pits within the next 4 to 5 laps, as TJ now next to try and line up Jess. As through the last corner we come, and up front we've got still Jason King and Sully and Rageman leading, and Jess going to the inside line. Is now the outside there for one, and I think the other car of Jamie goes past as well. We've got a yellow flag, that's for Aiden, and I'm wondering, has he done the same thing he did earlier on and got on those curbs? I wonder if he might have picked up floor damage potentially as well.
Not sure if he would pick up floor damage, but honestly, for a pit stop now, it would probably wasn't really in his plans. They probably try to go to the end at this point if he can manage the tyres, because he has to just try and make the best of situations like this.
I mean, Decisive comes out ahead of Storm. Storm low is going to try and Storm back past Rageman, a 3-second time penalty. He doesn't want to be picking up too many of them, of course. In terms of the penalties, by the way, we've got 6 for your second position, 3 and 3 for second and third, as we continue right on board of this battle here for 10th and 11th position. 5 seconds for TJ, 6 seconds for Infamous, Indecisive with 11 seconds so far, and then we've got 3 and 3 for Storm and Aiden West as well in the Alfa Romeo. But I'll tell you what, Storm had a little moment there. He thought he was going to go around the outside, couldn't quite do it though.
Yeah, Jess in the pits now. Want to switch out the mediums, probably for the hard tyre.
Maybe a set of. Let's see what they're going to go on. They're going to do a 2 set of softs. I think
or 2 sets of softs, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's.
That is the plan, and it'll be a chance to really push it now.
It might be awfully close here, you know, with Indecisive. Actually thinking of it, let's see, it's a long pit lane. Here comes Indecisive. They're going to be close up. It's going to be very close into the braking zone to turn 1. I think Jess just has an upper there on the inside. Where did that come from, Storm? Is he going to get it stopped? Just about got that stop there. And then almost, and here comes Indecisive back round the outside. He's not going to put that one on about a fight. Let's see, round the outside, they're breaking from Indecisive. It's a beautiful move, and Storm just had to back out of that one. I thought for a second there was going to be an almighty coming together at turn 1 there. I did not see that one coming nearly.
Well, obviously going for move, obviously the Red Bull did well enough in older tyres to just be able to defend and keep the position, although it might lose it here now.
Be able to cover it.
No, it's covered.
Meanwhile, drops down into 6th position so far. So those two switching around for the battle for 5th and 6th. Jamie on his move up the field as we keep an eye on this lovely little battle, meanwhile, for 9th, 10th and 11th position so far. Jess Tyler actually puts away ever so slightly. We've got a yellow flag, and that is TJ. And he's dropped it on the curb. He's dropped it on the curb. You can see what he's done there. He's hit the inside curb likely. He's just dropped around. The safety car has been deployed, like you said. That's going to bring the field all nice and bunched up now, isn't it?
Yeah, and Jess probably be wondering, did I make the wrong call here in terms of when to pit? But you probably can gain places here.
Surely we're going to see Jason. Very certain we're going to see everyone starting to come into the pits for a new set of tyres now. If they have the opportunity. Jason's in the pit lane. Are we going to see 2nd in the pits? Yes, we are. Is anyone going to stay out and just try and hold track position? Surely they're all going to come in. I imagine we're going to see a flurry of another set of mediums left for Jason. What are we going to see Kingan go on in the Williams? Let's see. Is it a set of mediums I could see? Yeah, it is. Sully on a set of hards left for Sullivan there. Rageman is on a set of... I believe let's get the tyres up. A set of mediums. We've got Jamie in for a set of mediums as well. Infamous in from his stop. And let's see, I imagine going to be setting a medium tyres on the Alpha Tauri as well. Yes, indeed. So everyone going for a set of mediums. In terms of stops, by the way, everyone has set their 2nd stop. We've got Jess, who's going to come in. Well, we're going to see surely Indecisive Storm also coming in the pit. No, they're going to stay out. Jess comes in then, and that's quite a good strategy here. And I'm imagining a set of medium tyres, you know.
Yep, obviously, it'll be 2nd stop for a lot of people now. The tyres don't want to go on to for the end. It'll pretty much just everyone will have the same kind of strategies.
I tell you what, this really isn't actually been this hasn't worked very well for Indecisive Storm. Now they're going to be going and waiting a little while here for the next, hoping for another safety car, because they're now going to be slightly out of sync in this race, aren't they?
Yeah, some people will be a little bit out of sync. Well, a little bit. Obviously, a Red Bull probably would want to think about pitting, because then they wouldn't lose too many spots and they would be able to get fresh tyres.
Yeah, it's one of those things you want to try and gauge when you're going to stop. You've seen a few people on the hards though. That's the interesting fact. A few guys are on that hard tyre. Indeed, we'll have a look. We've got Sully on the hards. We've got Rageman on the hards and Aiden on the hards. Oh, Aiden's gone off. Aiden's dropped it. Under the safety car, trying to catch up, and that there, did he get it on that curb on the inside there? We saw that corner there into Villeneuve. So easy to do, isn't it?
Yeah, it's easy enough to drop it, but on the safety car, he's probably kicking himself now, because it's just made things a little more stressful, and there's maybe more time required to catch up.
Yeah, it's going to take slightly longer. In comes Storm then. He's coming again, and I'm wondering... he's got a set of hard tyres. So yeah, he's the one that stayed out earlier on. So he's now done his 2nd stop as well. So the only one Indecisive who is on the alternative strategy right now, going on a bit longer. And I presume he'll set a set of soft tyres on to go to the end potentially.
Let's see everyone now. We'll have a look at penalties, just maybe to see what the state of play would be then. So you have Kingan on 6, Sully on 3, Rageman on 3, Infamous on 6, Indecisive on 11, which will include a 5. Whopping Proverb is not actually. Storm is on 3 and then Aiden West on 3. So that will be the state of play at the moment.
Penalties, they're going to play a big factor in this race. I still think Jason with none. He's got the pound seat. Safety car will be in next lap. I'm presuming it'll stay out one more lap because, of course, we're waiting for Aiden to catch the back of the field. So one more lap under the safety car right now. I don't know why Indecisive's not stopped, you know. I really don't. He has a prime opportunity. He can chuck on a set of hard tyres if he wants to. Get himself to the end of this race. Because you still have to still stop once more. Everyone else is done their two-stop strategy apart from him. So it's a bold strategy. Let's see if it pays off.
Well, see, the closer people get, there's a little more of a chance of a safety car. So that means maybe then, if another safety car comes, he'll be able to switch to the soft tyre.
Yeah, it's going to be those things. Like I said, safety car does most certainly breed the safety car. That is my famous little thing that I like to see. But anything can happen here in Run Hub, and, well, it very much normally does. We'll see surprises, we'll see drama. Stories will be told from this race. Right now, the story is one of Rageman's recovery. And I tell you what, this safety car has really helped him, hasn't it?
Yep, and suddenly everyone here just get back in and get a second shot at really pushing himself up the grid, the order. So now 11 drivers all bunched together with maybe a chance here for everyone to just maybe have that second bite that they didn't think they'd get. Because a lot of people were pretty spaced out until the TJ had the crash that put him out. So now I'd expect safety car in this lap as it's go. Jason can get to the pits and keeping the constant speed 150 before the restart.
Let's see then, when's he going to go? I think he's going to go now, actually, is the answer to that one. Has he got it nice and done? Yes, he has very much got it nicely done there. And we are back racing then here in San Marino then for the last, some 14, 13 laps to go. It's Jason leads then from King and Sully ahead of Rageman. Rageman are forward looking for the inside for a second there. Backs out of it there, further back down the field. We are seeing Indecisive then getting under attack from Proverb there. Proverb trying to go one way and then the other. And let's see, not going to be pulling off a move right there. Jess ahead of Storm and then Aiden down the back. But again, we see there is a bit swapping there is Proverb does get in front of Indecisive right there as now those guys go battling up the hill. Rageman is going to be going on for a charger. He needs to try and dispatch these guys very quickly if he wants to get, he needs to dispatch Sully if he wants to get a podium. Can he still win this race? Well, it's not out of the question yet, but he needs to get a move on.
Yep, I see. Now is your chance. Everyone on the same tyre. It's pretty much down to how you feel on the tyre. Let's see with penalties here. I would say there's a chance like to Jamie here, who hasn't got a penalty, to push themselves up the order, although they are falling a little bit back from those ahead.
Yeah, I tell you what, the top two starting to pull away. They're on the medium tyres, members, so of course they will have a natural advantage compared to Sully and Rageman. So that's that one. Is up the inside, actually, as you said, actually, between Infamous. Almost contact there as Infamous goes far too deep now on the brakes. Has to take a little bit of curb hopping as there goes Proverb and Jamie back up into 5th position, but with the DRS a little bit too optimistic on the brakes. They just couldn't get it stopped. Indecisive there. I think Jess has just gone slightly wide there as well. As you come into Toaster up the inside comes Storm, who takes a little bit of a lunge. Doesn't quite get the move quite done there, but a good little attempt from the Storm, who is definitely now going to try and challenge as Jess gets her tyres right up to temperature, and she will be most certainly, I presume, going for another attack as well. See if she can get Indecisive, though to be fair, doesn't really have to, because Indecisive still has to stop.
and indecisive also has penalties. So, this case of, well, he can't really do much now. See, he's got to stop soon, and I assume the stop will come soon enough.
Yeah, most certainly will come within the next couple of laps, I imagine. Here, meanwhile, goes Proverb on Jamie. Then let's see. Outside, inside. Is he going to try and make a lunge? No, thinks better of it. Gets nice and close, low up to the rear end of the car, but just can't quite enough do it through there. As there goes the Ferrari, the Haas, and the AlphaTauri there. And then, of course, there is Mr. Grass-cutting Red Bull, who is taking the slightly new line, might I say, through the exit of the Tamburello chicane, but gets it nice and stopped, I suppose. So that's the main thing. I tell you what, Rageman really not making the gains I thought he potentially could on Sully there. Sully holding his own very well right now.
Yep, he's happy enough for what he's doing here. At the moment, it would look like he'll be able to get P2 if he can just keep it in the 3 seconds.
Yeah, gets good exit out of the chicanes. I'm definitely noticing, looking back then, on board with the Mercedes, on board then with the McLaren, and oh, they touched ever so slightly there. That's a little bit close now. Has that done damage? Has that done damage? I don't think so, at least. He'll get the DRS then. That's very late braking. And now, let's see. Sully's going to have to try and go left here. He'll have to go left and brake as late as he can. Here comes the McLaren then. Can he go around the outside? Late braking. That's beautiful. That's beautiful around the outside there. Sully had nothing he could do. As right around the outside, late on the brake, as late as you dare, goes Rageman up into 3rd position. That was beautiful.
He's got the place now, and that's an important move. He's now slowly now 6 seconds. It's now turned back into Rageman's race. It's now, I have to say, can he really push it now and start trying to go back up to where he was at the start? Pretty much in top 2.
Almost dropped it again at that corner. As talking of dropping it, that is Proverb who's dropped it. Wants to be careful here as cars come past. Luckily, the ghosting system says thank you very much for that as he drops himself down to 11th position on those medium tyres. That is the corner which has caught so many out as Storm having a bit of a mistake there. Is there now at the inside goes Proverb back up into 10th position as Storm made a very big mistake, it looked like there. Is I thought for a second he disconnected, but I don't think he did.
Well, look, Infamous is past Jamie again, so I'm looking to try pull away now as Jamie does have a penalty.
Yep, 7th, 8th, 9th still close together for our battle there is indecisive. Very late on the brakes this time around, and let's see, could this be an opportunity for Jess to come through? Not quite just yet, as we keep an eye on this. Guys up front, like you said, Jamie and Infamous closing up as, oh, that could be an optimistic move. Indecisive, bad mistake there. Here comes round the outside goes Storm. Jess getting really, really bad exit there. That was all kind of caused by Indecisive getting a very twitchy rear. And Jess losing 1-2 position in the space of a few yards as Proverb almost drops it yet again. Has no grip out there.
Sometimes, like, in some cases you just don't have the grip. It could be you're not trying that well to find the grip, or maybe the setup just doesn't really allow you to find it either. It is. Let's see now. Looks like Jamie will be trying to get back past Infamous. So you're having a lot of switching here, pretty much pulling each other along here on the straights.
Yeah, we're certain the yellow flag. That's Rageman off again. My goodness. And Rageman, who was up into 3rd, and we thought could maybe salvage some more points yet again. Off he goes. Another mistake there. As meanwhile, this battle for the lower positions. And yes, Rageman out, and he's dropped on the curbs, I imagine, as he done what safety car deployed. So he's done what TJ did. And yet another safety car. Now everyone's going to be coming in for a set of softs, aren't they?
Yeah, that's what I'd expect anyway.
So, Jason, he's driven a superb race throughout. Still has to stop. Well, everyone's going to surely stop. Someone's going to try and trigger it. So, we've got enough laps to do it. So, it'll be a no-brainer to see people diving in. Are we going to see them do it? Surely we are. No, Jason stays out. Surely Kingdom's going to come in. Surely they're going to come in. This is a smart strategy call. Sullivan's going to come in, surely. And that might be a very big mistake for Jason.
Only thing is, he has the ability to win the race even without actually finishing first, because he doesn't have the penalties that the others do. Although I would say someone like the Haas here, Romping Proverb, and also Chess would be in a very nice place now, because they'll be on the fresh set of softs, while also not having penalties, with not too many laps left. So that means people won't have a chance to get away to mitigate any effect of the penalty before the race is over.
I mean, yeah, like you said, of course, and you alluded to Kingdom with 9, Sully with 6, Jamie's with only got that 3 seconds, so he actually is still in a good position. Infamous with 9, Proverb with nothing, neither is Jess. Indecisive and Storm both having penalties, as well as Aiden, so quite a lot of people having that penalties, and it just shows you what taking it cool and taking your time really does around here. Is Indecisive gets on the curb lap, but this has to be a really bad strategy call. Surely this can't work for Jason. I mean, I can't imagine. Surely he can't keep everyone behind for what will be at least 5 laps. I mean, he might get overtaken at least, but the question is, can he stay with them? Because, yeah, I mean, they've got 9 seconds, but with the amount of laps we've got, surely we're going to see at least 1 or 2 people manage potentially to get past him. But because I just can't see him being able to stay in the lead here.
Well, you know, I would say you'd be able to keep an independence to the King and Sully. Maybe Jamie might, if the mediums are really that much worse than the softs, it might be a struggle to keep on with Jamie.
I mean, 9 laps.
Yeah. But I would say he's still got a good chance of winning this race. Pure because he'll have track position, and the fact he doesn't have a penalty to be applied.
Yeah, that's true, of course. He will have track position. He'll have 9 lap holder tyres, to be fair, on the mediums. They can last they'll last at the end of this race very easily, so he can do it. It's all about, can he do it? That is the question. Has he got enough to defend and, if not, stick with the leaders? We'll have the safety car in, we believe, on this lap. So we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 laps to go, I think. 6 laps to go after the end of this one. Here in San Marino, of course. And don't forget, if you are watching, this could be a very, very great final couple of laps. Safety car in this lap. And I don't know who's going to win. I tell you what, they're a little bit bunched up there, isn't it? Under the safety car with Proverb and Infamous.
Yep, so now Jason, he needs to nail this restart, because that could give him the opportunity to pull away before the soft runners can really get an attack on him.
Yeah, he's going to have to back him up. He's going to have to go very late here just to try and surprise them. Don't go when you expect to go. Well, he's gone now then, so never mind. So he's decided to go early, and I tell you what, I think he actually has caught people out still anyway. But has Kingan got the slipstream? Well, he most certainly is. Surely he's not going to have a look straight away, is he? No, I'll be surprised. He's going to stick back for the time being. Well, there is the first opportunity to make a move. It's going to be probably at Tosa if he can get a good exit then. Let's see though, but Jason gets a better exit. He's pulling away. He is pulling away ever so slightly. Jess has been overtaken there for 8th and 9th position. But Kingan is going to have to try and push as hard as he dares to try. He has to get past. But this is the thing. He has to get past and then pull the 9-second gap. Is it possible?
At the moment, Jason's still in the lead. Looks like he's got the decent enough pace here compared to these soft runners.
9/10 gap. Yellow flag, and that is Aiden, who are yet again at that corner having trouble. Indecisive, another time penalty to add to his collection so far. But 7 attempts to gap, 6 attempts to gap, waiting, of course. We will have DRS soon. So right now, I suppose for Kingan, it's all about just a little bit of a waiting game. But you don't want to wait too much, though, isn't it? Because you've got that penalty. So it's wait or be passed, really, is the situation. Because Sully, he's got less penalties, so he's going to be more hungry to go, as he almost dropped it. There, he just about caught that one, and that almost caught me there right up. I thought that was going to be a trip straight to the wall. And now, look at Kingan. He is right on the back of Jason.
Let's see now. I believe Jess passed the Red Bull. So it'd be good move for her there anyway. And we have such chance to demand a P6, or what it may be, will be a MP2 by the end of the race with penalties applied.
I tell you what here, this could be an opportunity then for Kingan. He's going to have to make this move, but probably down into turn number 1. He is a lot closer this time around. Gets a good exit. Oh, he gets too good of an exit. He's hit the rear of him. Has that damaged the car? I don't think it would have, but he has run into the DRS is enabled. Now, which way are you going to go, my friend? Left or right? Jason's going to cover the inside line. Let's see how late Do You Dare Brake has Kingan got the position. Yes, he has them. Round the outside. Now, it's about 4 laps of pushing as hard as you dare push to see if you can get the lead and retain it. Next up will be Sully, who will get through right now. Or is he? Is he going to get it? Because they're going to fight this one all the way up. And Jason not having any of it.
Very good defending there to keep the place, even when you're struggling and on the back foot. You're still able to keep second place, and therefore, you know you can let the Williams go. You should still be able to win the race.
I tell you what, this is going to be a barnstormer of a finish right now. Jason, Sully, Jamie as well. Jamie, actually, I think as he currently stands, is in second position in this race. Counting on penalties, Wapping actually, I think, might be in second as well. There's a few people who could be anywhere. I tell you, it definitely looks like, I don't know if it's for your end, Dad, a few people are lagging.
Yeah, let's see. I think everyone's okay for me, but also, actually, we got another move here. Mercedes up to second. People are starting to find their way through.
Yeah, it's going to be a matter there, isn't it? Definitely for me, Jamie is lagging a little bit, so hopefully that's...
Yeah, you can see that now.
Yeah, so hopefully that's not a major issue. I saw him lagging earlier. A few people were twitching, but of course, that can always happen in Formula 1. A little bit of lag here, a little bit of lag there, but of course, that is too much of an issue as we continue to run on board with the man who is in 4th position and will hopefully try and get 3rd pretty quickly because he wants to get a move on soon because... Oh, never mind! Because I was about to say Proverb can get through, but never mind, he's dropped it. He has dropped it.
And that's a potential podium just gone in an instant.
Well, yeah, that most certainly is. So surely now, Jamie's got a hand potential on this podium position. The gap to the leader, 2.3 seconds. So we say now 3.1 seconds. He's close enough that he will easily get through. He needs about 6 seconds, I believe, ideally, with the penalties, of course. We'll get the penalties up. So 9 seconds and 6 seconds with Jamie on 3 seconds. So I think he should be good for that second position. Jess up to 6th position. She's having a barnstorming race. That is Storm, who's gone off the road as well. So a lot of people making mistakes. Jess up to 6th. She could be on a good result here for potentially 5th. Depends on how these guys continue to battle. Gap is around about 10 seconds. As now Storm's also made a mistake. We are now on to the penultimate lap of this race. Sully in 2nd. Jason in 3rd. Getting chased now by the very... Very laggy... Kingan's off!
Dropping like flies here. People are just not really just really going well for some people now. Pressure's getting to them as Jamie is up to P2 on track. And well, there's a chance here, I suppose. Maybe in the last lap, but I don't think he'll be able to catch Sully on track anyway.
I'll tell you what, Jess is on for a 4th position here in this, right? As here comes Jamie, who is trying to chase up. He is very twitchy right now, I will say. This is a little bit nervous, I will say that. But here we are. Gap. So far, Infamous, Jason, Jamie, Sullivan. Top 4 drivers then. They're all nose to tail. Both of the Alpha Tauris together. And you're most certainly looking at this one as Jason looks on course to win here in pre-season. He has just not to pick up a penalty. At least if he picks up a penalty, then that will be Jamet's or Jamie's win to take, who's pushing as hard as he can. Here we are then. Few corners to go. A little bit of lag. A little bit of twitchiness. O'Sullivan, though, will win on the track. Jamie will cross the line. He will likely be 2nd. But I believe, unless he picks up a penalty right now, it will be Jason who'll take the victory then. So here comes O'Sullivan then to cross the line to win in pre-season. But it won't, because Jamie will win, but Jason will win. And then let's see who is going to get that 4th position. Is it going to be Jess, I wonder, or is it going to be Infamous? Let's see, across the line, it's 5th position for Jess Game then, right behind. And that there, a storming drive from the Williams driver, ahead of Kingan in 6th, Proverb in 7th, Aiden in 8th, Indecisive in 9th. We're now just waiting for Storm to cross the line there in 10th position.
Well, yeah, I'd say interesting first race. We thought Rageman would have been the guy who would probably have pulled away early on, but a bad start happened. He dropped to P2 and it just never really got better after that. He did close up potentially back to where he was in P2, as he was in P3 hunting on the hunt, but then another spin and a second spin after put him out of contention. And see, Jason, he led for pretty much most of this race, so it is a fairly deserved win. Although you'd wonder why he didn't pit near the end, just to pretty much keep himself safe. But it has worked out, and well done to him. He's laid down the marker he needed to.
Yep, Jamie gets the in-game driver of the day, but here is your podium, of course. And like we said, a lovely podium animation there, and a very happy AlphaTauri driver on the top step of the podium.
Well, that is a nice pre-season race. Obviously next week we'll have the first round, or next week too, we'll have the first round of the season.
Yeah, indeed. We'll go through your official rundown then of the order, and that of course being Jason, who wins from Jamie in 2nd, Sullivan in 3rd, Infamous in 4th, Jet ahead of Kingan, Proverb ahead of Aiden, Indecisive, Storm, Rageman, TJ and Matthias. And who is your driver of the day and your question to them?
I would have to say it would be Jason. So, and then I'll ask him, how is he? What does he? Where do you think he would have ended up at before the race? Maybe just like right after qualifying, because obviously Rageman, he looked like he had the raw pace to just pull away. So I would just say, like, would you say this is? So, like, do you feel like this would be something you can do more in this season, and thus get the win, even if Rageman is able to be a bit more on form in the race next week?
Indeed, and my drive of the day will go to Jet from 11th to 5th. And my question to her is, a long race, a lot of cars going off, you didn't pick up penalties. What was that? Is that a much of a surprise result to see around here to get that 5th position for a track which is so easy to make mistakes? And of course, finally, we will go through our sponsors as well, of course, and the sponsor of the league's Next Level Racing, of course, who provide prizes to the league. Pure Sim Gear, who sponsor the league by providing a pair of their sim racing gloves to the driver with the most combined poles and fastest lap. Vespertine, who of course support our championship prizes. ERT, who are the Go and Get Tough Awards, and SimGrid as well. Of course, they do the community and the platform indeed. And don't forget, by the way, to hit the subscribe and like button on YouTube and on Twitch as well. And don't forget, there are other streams going on at the same time. I believe Podium should be starting very soon as well. And they probably want to be, I think they are also on Twitch as well. So I should probably round this up. So, of course, join me and my good old commentator Brendan next week in just 7 days' time. Of course, for the first race of the season. But I have been Evil. Brendan has been Brendan. Until next week, take care and goodbye.